O gentle Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, beloved little flower of Jesus, I come before you today with a heart in need of healing. You who promised to spend your heaven doing good on earth, look upon me with compassion and mercy. You who knew the depths of suffering and the heights of divine love, teach me to surrender my pain, my fear, and my weakness to the arms of Jesus, who healed your soul and made you whole. Saint Therese, you who called yourself a little flower in the garden of God, help me to believe that even in my smallness, I am precious to Him who created me. You trusted that even the smallest act done with love could change the world and bring joy to heaven. Teach me that same simplicity, that same trust, so that I may see my suffering not as punishment, but as a path of love, a way of drawing closer to the heart of Jesus. I bring before you now all that aches within me. My physical pain, my emotional wounds, my spiritual burdens. You who endured illness and weakness with grace, who offered your sufferings as flowers of love to God, understand the struggle of the body and the weariness of the soul. You who coughed blood, yet smiled through your suffering, who felt abandoned by heaven, yet never ceased to love. Teach me to find meaning in my pain, to offer it not in despair, but in faith. Saint Therese, beloved daughter of the Church, you once said, I will let fall a shower of roses. Let those roses fall now upon me, symbols of healing, love, and divine grace. Let each petal that touches my life bring peace to my troubled mind, strength to my weakened body, and renewal to my wounded heart. Let the fragrance of your intercession fill the air around me with hope, reminding me that God never forgets His children. Little flower, you taught us the little way, to trust completely in God's mercy, to love without measure, and to do small things with great love. I ask you to help me walk this way, especially when I feel weak, forgotten, or afraid. Teach me that holiness is not found in grand deeds, but in quiet surrender to God's will. Help me to believe that even in my suffering, I can glorify Him if I simply love. O Saint Therese, you who once felt the sting of doubt and the darkness of spiritual dryness, yet never turned away from your faith, be with me in my moments of despair. When I am tempted to lose hope, whisper to my soul, everything is grace. When I question the purpose of my pain, remind me that God would not inspire desires that He does not intend to fulfill. Let your words be my comfort, your faith my guide, and your love my inspiration. Saint Therese, you said that you desired to love Jesus as He has never been loved before. Let that fire of love ignite within me, burning away all fear, bitterness, and doubt. Let it purify my heart so that only peace remains. Teach me to love with patience, to forgive quickly, and to rejoice even in suffering, for through the cross we come to resurrection. You once promised that your mission would continue in heaven, to make God loved. I ask you to continue that mission now in my life. Pour God's healing love into my heart, that I may not only be restored in body and mind, but also transformed in spirit. Let my healing be not only for my own sake, but also for the glory of God, so that others may see His goodness through me. Saint Therese, little flower, you knew what it meant to be weak, to be misunderstood, to feel unseen. But you also knew the secret of joy, that love alone matters, that trust is never wasted, and that heaven begins in the heart that says yes to God. Teach me to say yes, even when I do not understand. Teach me to find joy in small blessings, gratitude in daily struggles, and strength in surrender. O sweet saint of the smile, you who radiated peace even in suffering, help me to smile again through the tears. Remind me that sorrow does not have the final word, love does. Let my spirit be lifted by your example, for you found holiness not in perfection, but in faithfulness. You loved Jesus in your weakness, and He crowned you with glory in heaven. Through your intercession, may my weakness be transformed into strength, and my pain into praise. Saint Therese, I place before you the people I love, those who are sick, broken or burdened, shower them too with your roses of grace. Bring comfort to those who suffer in silence, hope to those who feel forgotten, and peace to those in despair. Let every rose be a reminder that heaven is near, that miracles still bloom, and that love never dies. Little flower of Jesus, help me to love with a pure heart, to live with a childlike trust, and to surrender all my worries into the arms of God. You who found greatness in littleness, teach me to see the beauty in my own fragility. When I cannot pray, pray for me. When I lose faith, hold me close to your heart and carry my petitions to Jesus, for he never refused you anything. Saint Thérèse, healer of hearts, intercede for those struggling with illness. You who suffered tuberculosis and offered it to God in peace, pray for all who endure pain today, those in hospitals, those waiting for results, those fighting diseases that feel bigger than their strength. Let them feel the presence of Christ the healer beside them. Let them know that they are not forgotten, for heaven listens when you pray. You once said that your mission would be to make souls love God as I love him. Oh, Saint Thérèse, help me to love God deeply, even when he feels far away. Help me to trust that he is near, especially in my suffering. Heal the part of me that doubts his plan, and replace my fear with faith. Let my healing come, not only in the body, but also in the mind that worries and the heart that aches. Saint Thérèse, teach me the language of love. When I am angry, let me respond with gentleness. When I am tired, let me choose kindness. When I am in pain, let me remember the cross. Help me to live every moment with grace, to speak softly, to love generously, and to forgive completely. Let my life reflect your little way, that others may find hope through simplicity and love. O flower of divine beauty, you promised to let fall a shower of roses from heaven. I ask that you send me a rose today, a sign of healing, a whisper of hope, a reminder that God is working, even when I cannot see. Let that rose be a symbol of his mercy and your intercession, proof that heaven listens and miracles still bloom. Saint Thérèse, you loved Jesus with childlike faith. You trusted him even when he seemed silent. You smiled through suffering because you knew that love redeems all pain. Help me to have that same faith, to believe without seeing, to hope without proof, to love without measure. Let my trust in God become unshakable, my faith unbreakable, and my joy untouchable. You once wrote, "After my death, I will send down a shower of roses." Dear Saint Thérèse, let that shower fall upon this weary heart. Let each rose petal bring peace where there is fear, forgiveness where there is resentment, and strength where there is weakness. Let me gather those roses in my soul and hold them as reminders that heaven is real and love is eternal. O Saint of the Little Way, teach me to see beauty in the small things, in the kindness of a friend, the warmth of sunlight, the sound of laughter. Remind me that these are all signs of God's love and that healing often begins in gratitude. Help me to thank God for what I have, even as I wait for what I pray for. Let gratitude heal what worry has broken, and hope bloom where fear has withered. Saint Thérèse, you are the patron of missionaries, though you never left your convent walls. Teach me that love knows no boundaries. Even from my home, my bed, or my place of pain, I can still bless the world through prayer. Let my prayers reach those in need, the lonely, the sick, the weary. Let healing flow through my intercession as it once flowed through yours. O little flower of Jesus, you remind us that nothing is too small for God. You said, "The splendor of the rose and the whiteness of the lily do not rob the little violet of its scent." Teach me to see my worth, even when I feel small. Teach me to embrace who I am and to trust that God delights in me, even in my brokenness. Saint Thérèse, in your short life, you achieved sanctity not through grand miracles, but through small acts of love. You turned every sacrifice into joy, every trial into triumph, and every tear into prayer. Help me to do the same. When life feels heavy, remind me that holiness is found in love. and that healing begins with trust. You once said, "My vocation is love." Let love be my vocation too. Let love be my answer to pain, my cure for anger, and my medicine for sorrow. Teach me to love those who are difficult, to love myself when I am weak, and to love God when I cannot feel Him. Let this love heal me from within, and let it overflow to all those around me. O sweet Saint Thérèse, you who longed for heaven and yet loved earth with tenderness, teach me to live fully while I wait for eternity. Heal me of the fear of death, the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown. Fill me with peace that surpasses understanding, a peace rooted in God's eternal promise. You said, "I will not rest until the end of the world." So I call upon your restless love, your tireless intercession, to pray for my complete healing. Touch my wounds with your faith, wrap me in your trust, and lead me to Jesus, who alone makes all things new. Saint Thérèse, I thank you for hearing me. I thank you for every unseen prayer you've whispered, every grace you've sent, and every rose you've let fall into the lives of those who call upon you. I thank you for your example, a reminder that even the smallest soul can reach the heights of heaven through love, humility, and trust. Stay with me, little flower. Walk with me through my struggles. When I feel weak, lend me your strength. When I am tempted to give up, remind me of heaven's beauty. When my faith falters, remind me of God's promise, that every tear will one day become a rose of joy. Saint Thérèse, pray for my complete healing, from sickness in body, from weariness in mind, from pain in heart, and from doubt in spirit. Heal me, not only for my comfort, but that my life may glorify God. Let me be a living flower in His garden, spreading the fragrance of faith, hope, and love. Little flower of Jesus, I surrender my pain, my fear, my desires, and my will into the hands of God, trusting that, like you, I will find joy even in suffering and beauty even in brokenness. I believe that your prayers will bring healing, because your love for souls has never ended. Thank you, Saint Thérèse, for your friendship, your guidance, and your love. Thank you for being near to those who suffer, for comforting hearts that cry in silence, and for reminding us that God's mercy never fails. May I one day join you in heaven, where flowers never fade, tears never fall, and love reigns forever. Until that day, I will live your little way, loving God in small acts, trusting Him in big trials, and finding healing in surrender. Through your intercession, may I bloom where I am planted, and may every moment of my life be a prayer of love to Jesus. Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, little flower of Jesus, pray for me. Intercede for my healing, and help me trust completely in God's love. Amen.